Hello, Cornerstone, and anybody else who ends up tuning into this video. My name is Bryce, and I was doing some reading on my own, and these verses that I came across, I feel like would be extremely helpful in this scenario, of what's going on in life right now. I'm going to be reading from 1 Peter 1. I'm going to be reading verses 6 through 9, and then again verses 13 through 16. And it says here in verse 6, "So be truly glad, there is wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world. You love him, though you have never seen him, and though you do not see him now, you trust him, and you rejoice with a glorious, inexpressible joy. The reward for trusting him will be the salvation of your souls." Moving to verse 13, "So prepare your minds for action and exercise self-control. Put all your hope in the gracious salvation that will come to you when Jesus Christ is revealed to the world. So you must live as God's obedient children. Do not slip back into your old ways of living to satisfy your own desires. You didn't know better then, but now you must be holy in everything you do, just as God who chose you is holy. For the scriptures say you must be holy because I am holy." I know now that we're kind of in this rough spot where there's a lot of stuff going on and we don't really understand it. This virus has definitely, I think, taken a toll on everybody across the whole world. All of us can feel this. But here, Peter is writing to these churches in Asia Minor, which would be modern-day Turkey. And he's saying, have joy. You're being persecuted for gathering. We're being, tried by this virus. And he's saying, have joy. Because even though you're being tried, these trials in verse 7 will show that your faith is genuine. I know for me, being home alone and not really having anybody around, I have a tendency to, as I'm being tried, I get to see the problems that I have to be cleansed with, these sins that I need to get out of my life. My Bible here puts it, since Peter refers to gold, my Bible actually talks about refining this, and I'd like to read this to you as well. And it says that the refiner would heat up the furnace and then put in the gold he mined in order to separate the worthless and impure dross from the precious and beautiful gold. The dross would rise to the top and be skimmed off until the refiner could look into the crucible at the liquid gold and see his own image. In a like manner, God uses the fiery trials and tribulations in our lives to purify and beautify our faith so that one day he will clearly see his image in us. Going back to kind of being alone here, I know one thing I struggle with a lot is I kind of get these depressive thoughts. And I think a lot of people do that when you're alone for a long time. And it's me believing a lie where I'm not, believing a lie that Satan places in my head where I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, there's something about me that's wrong, I'm doing something that God could never, I am somebody God could never redeem. And these are just lies. And being alone, it's really brought this stuff to my attention. And so I'm happy that we're going through these trials and I've been placed in this scenario because God can now work on me. The heat in the furnace is turned up and he's allowed to take everything that is impure and just scrape it off to the side. And what really excites me is that at the end, when all that rubbish just kind of goes off to the side, God's able to look through into me and hopefully see a little bit more of himself at the end of the day. And the second part of here that I read to you verse 13 through 16, this is also something I'm struggling with a lot, where it says, hey, don't go back to what you did before Christ. You lived in sin not knowing any better then, but now you know better, and you're not meant to go down that way. So some stuff for me again is being alone, having fought depression in the past and having that resurface. I have to keep reminding myself and coaching myself that it's not, I don't have to go back to the old way of thinking. I don't have to buy into those lies because I have a new truth. I have a new belief. I have hope. I don't know what any of this could be for you. I know a lot of people that I've talked with, money is definitely something we're all concerned about. Relationships with family, honestly, are things that are being tried and tested. And these different things that we're all dealing with individually. We're starting to see this as the furnace heats up. We're starting to see these impurities, and we can actually see them now. They're actually brought to our attention. And we get to watch as God changes us and molds us and swipes all of those impurities away. And instead, we get to look just a little bit more like Christ every day. So I don't know whether your faith was in money, and now that it's gone, you're concerned, or if you were just maybe had problems with anger, and now that you've been around your family often, it's very easy for you to lose your temper. Maybe you put aside relationships to try to build for your family. I know that's something men struggle with, is we just want to work so we can provide. And maybe we forgot that we need to take the time to build our relationships with our family and to love the people around us. Maybe those are things that God's bringing to your attention, but I would just encourage you again that as these trials bubble up, these impurities, you don't have to keep them around. The rest of the world doesn't really know what to do with them, but Christ wipes them away because he is a good and gracious Father whose mercies are new every day. So hold fast, keep praying, keep the hope, keep your faith. God bless.